everybody. This is Lauren Dalvia, Lauren 1111 here for your weekly astrology update for benemudra.com. So really what's on the docket this week is a couple of small things and one big full moon in Pisces, but I'm just trying to get everybody prepared. September is going to be a crazy month. The astrology of September looks pretty much like the astrology of March 2020. So that's sort of like when the world turned upside down and this virus crisis really escalated. So these transits this month really mirror what was happening back in March. Back then, Mars joined 3 planets in Capricorn. This angered Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto. And now in September, Mars is going to be square. This is like a trine is when we're like this. So it's nice and flowy energy. A square is like when you're hitting it. It's like really harsh energy. Mars is going to square the exact same planets. Jupiter, the planet of beneficence and Santa Claus, but also amplification. It amplifies everything that it touches. Saturn, the planet of restriction and confinement and order and law and boundaries and systems, ruled by Capricorn, and Pluto, the planet of death and transformation, and the kind of transformation that you can't come back from. So here we go again. It's going to be a very wild ride. So back in March, I'm just looking at the March chart. Mars was in the same place as all those Capricorn outer planets. Now Mars is squaring them. So in March, Mars was in the exact same place as the planets, but now he's kind of coming up like so. So in March, Mars was sort of part of the problem. Now Mars wants to find solutions. So, he now has his own agenda. So, that's good. And he's also going to go retrograde in September, and will spend 6 months retrograde in his home sign of Aries. This is very rare. Usually when Mars is retrograde, it's for like 6 weeks, but this is a big deal. So normally when squaring a planet, Mars will trigger some things here and there and make some quick changes and then hits the road like that 6 weeks. But this time he's here to stay. So your regular Mars Jupiter, Mars Pluto, Mars Saturn square is not going to last 3 days. It's going to last 6 months. So that's a lot of time to make Mars type of adjustments. And September and October will be even more intense than March, because Mars is moving backwards, like he's retrograde, and is in a specific placement with Libra and Capricorn called a T-square. And so it's kind of like a punch bag of all of these planets. So we have 3 basic cardinal incipient energies here: Aries, Libra, and Capricorn. Aries is the individual, Capricorn is the establishment, and Libra is the partner. And also a symbol for justice and, kindness and political correctness and, the balance. So people will fight, and the establishment will be taken by surprise, and the establishment will underestimate the anger of the individual. It's going to be tough. This is going to be a tough month. And I actually say that, there's a lot of loving energy out there as well, but it's a really important time moving into this extremely intense month. October will also be intense. So we have to take care of ourselves, and we have to love each other fiercely and tenderly. And we just really need to do self-care. So it's also, if anyone who's listening is a Capricorn and has a lot of planets in Capricorn, this is particularly intense right now. I'm available for readings. You know, I just urge you to dig deeper and just be even kinder to yourself if that is so. And now I want to talk about the most important placement of the week, and that really is the full moon in Pisces, which is going to be on September 2nd. But the reverberation, the full moon itself lasts for 2 weeks, but the real reverberation, like we feel it when it's coming by a couple days, and we really feel it when it's happening for a couple days after that. So this is going to dominate the week. This is an extremely positive full moon, and so I'm happy to report that. It's, you know, it's super feminine, super receptive, and it's a great full moon to manifest, and it's really an opportunity to turn genius and brilliance and ideas and grace, inner grace, you know, into something real and something service oriented. This full moon will be particularly intense and activating if you have planets or angles around 10 degrees in Pisces, in Virgo, or in Taurus, but we're all going to feel it. This is super activating and catalyzing, like this moon. It's sort of, it's a really good moon because it supports all the aspects around it, and this support and these building blocks kind of extend through the year. So full moons are usually closures and completions and exponents because they amplify, and endings. So this one is and they also can sort of bombastically shine a light in the dark crevices that may be hidden from the conscious, right? So this is especially true with this Pisces moon because Pisces is ruled by Neptune. Neptune is square something called the nodal axis that I won't go into, but it's all about where we're going and what is karmic and what is exposed and what was heretofore unseen. And it's a sort of smoke and mirrors. Like Neptune is illusions, secrets, boundlessness, smoke and mirrors. Neptune is Hollywood, is a Neptune place. Like what you see is not, it's like an illusion. It's like I have a camera and I look beautiful, but like, what do I really look like? And you know, the business of movies is the business of illusions, is the business of Neptune. It's also the planet of the higher. It's really the planet of divinity and the planet of transcendence. The veil is thinnest with Neptunian energy and with Piscean energy. So it's certainly easiest to be projected on with this energy. So we have to watch ourselves and watch our sort of electromagnetic field, meaning like just fortify your energy. Like there are meditations to do for this. Kundalini yoga is an amazing practice for this, but just to kind of be aware that when Neptune and Pisces are around and they're in play like this, or if you have a lot of it in your chart, like you are susceptible to being projected on more than normal. So that's important. So because of all that Neptune is in terms of illusions, secrets, boundlessness, boundarylessness, you know, fog, the way this placement is, like I expect there to be revelations, personal revelations for all of us, you know, for most of us, and globally in terms of like what's really going on. You know, I preface this talk by saying like, look out, September is going to be crazy, and look at it in terms of like what was March. Like there's going to be some similarities, but we're moving through. Like we're certainly not going backwards. Even if it ever feels like we are, we're not. Like even planets that are retrograde, they are not actually moving backwards. They just seem like they are. And so that is the effect that it has on us, you know, internally. But so because of all that Neptune is, like we're really going to be like, there's going to be some revelations about what is really going on. So I would pay attention, you know, this is true politically. I think this is true medically. This is true financially. My personal belief is that the true colors of Wall Street, meaning how in trouble economically we currently are, it will be revealed to us this month. Like there's sort of this like fake sort of everything. We're not really in the early stages of a depression that seems to be happening, but like we are, and the wheels are sort of off, but there's like been these sort of fake bolstery sort of things in place for the last couple months that haven't exposed that fully. My belief is with these placements that are coming up in a couple days, like we're going to start to see that. So also the moon in general, but this moon particularly because it is in Pisces, is also extremely intuitive and super emotional and super feminine. Go to the waters, slow down, bathe, write down your dreams. If the moon's in Pisces, you have to write down your dreams. You have to know that it's going to be easier for your dreams to talk to you and for your emotions to want to come out. I say go to the waters because it's still the end of summer, at least in this hemisphere. And, maybe that's easy to do. If it's not easy to do, it could be a bath. And if you don't have a bathtub, it could be a shower, but it's just to look at water, to meditate on water, to go to water if it's possible. It is a deeply healing and invigorating experience when Pisces and Neptune are in play in this intense regard. And also this moon is in mutable water. Pisces is water, Pisces is mutable. There's flexibility here, and there's like this real open door to change. Or rather, the moon, like this placement is asking for that. So yes, big stuff is coming up. But so on the higher plane, this is wonderful for deep compassion and awareness and healing and unconditional love and psychic and deep six intuitive knowings, realizations. But on a lower plane or in the lower mind, the shadow side, this can cause us to feel really overwhelmed, emotionally gaslit, highly confused, and all over the place, depending on what's going on in your life and around you. The Pisces and Neptune are also they take place in the 12th house, and this is the house of undoing. And, it's the house of like, it's like where you can be closest to the divine, but it's also where things can go very wrong, where it's like people who are really crazy, who are like off their medicine and living in the basement and think those kind of like metaphors. It's like, they're actually not crazy. There's some kind of wise beyond all sort of thing about going on with these people. But there's like something's off. And so this is called the house of undoing because it's so full that it's easy to kind of get so emotional, feel like you're so close to something and like get really freaked out. And so that's the kind of lower side, to be careful not to get too overwhelmed. But the thing is like this moon is really asking us for, to call upon our deep compassion, the well of deep compassion. One more thing, there's something also this week, there's Venus in Cancer opposite Saturn in Capricorn. This axis, Venus in Cancer opposite Saturn in Capricorn, it creates major tension around the areas of support, nurture, safety, and comfort, up against this sort of deep desire to dominate and control and power dynamics. That's obviously the Saturn in Capricorn. Power dynamics for all of us, it's like we're meeting with a new world order, and this is going to start to happen. Like, I'm gearing you guys up for a big month, a new world order of justice and fairness potentially. That's where this thing is headed. It's big. It's both individual and collective. This is Age of Aquarius stuff, which I've spoken about before, and I'll have some workshops coming up in the month of September and October centered around this new age and like what is actually happening to the US right now, because it is going to keep happening for a while, and we have a job to do, and we do get to rest and relax within that as well. There is a deep, in a way, the US and us are both phoenixes rising from the ashes. I mean, it's not a small thing. And there's a deep rebirth and an unfolding that is taking place right now. And this moon sort of exemplifies and amplifies and invites this deeply. It's part of it. And, Pisces is about transcendence, and it's also about connecting deeply to our earth, ourselves, our sources, and the divine. So with that, I'm actually going to do something I don't usually do. I'm going to reach for my phone and read something that I wrote and put online on my site yesterday. And I think it exemplifies this moon, but it really is a sort of a anthem, like an ethos that I plan to hold to, that I want to give to you guys for the coming months, because September is going to be crazy and October will be intense as well. I mean, we're really in it through the rest of the year. Okay, so here goes. The world is shaking and the unrest will get worse. But we have to love each other fiercely and tenderly, and we have to remember our souls and follow the trail of gold dust left by the hire. We were made for these times, else we wouldn't be here. To greet your own ruby red inner sanctum. To greet your own ruby red inner sanctum. That is the mission, and the mission is unity. I thank you so much. My name is Lauren Dalvia, Lauren1111. My Instagram is 1111 guided for business and Lauren1111 for personal. You spell the words 11. And my services, spiritual teaching and astrology and numerology, are available on the Bene Mudra website, www.benemudra.com. Thank you so much, and have a beautiful week, and be gentle. Love and mercy.